Hello, my name's Bill, aka Billy Goat. Today is November 7th, 2021. In today's video, we're going to be talking about my 13th mower that I bought for the business, and that's the 2017 Toro Timemaster. If you've been watching my channel, you also know that I used to own a 2013 Toro Timemaster, and that was the mower that had the 190cc engine. I wasn't real happy with the first generation of the Toro Timemaster, and I believe it was the first or second year that they were making the Timemaster that, as far as I was concerned, and what I read and heard on other YouTube channels and forums, that people who own the Timemaster weren't real happy with the performance of it. They just felt that the engine was just underpowered. I ended up selling my Timemaster and replacing it with a Craftsman Pro Series 28, and I used that mower for the next year that I had that. And I liked that mower so much, I ended up buying another Craftsman Pro Series 28 as well, and used both of those for a couple years. And it wasn't until the fall of 2019 I contacted Randy from Dual Cut and Trim. He also has a YouTube channel that has a lot of videos on the Timemaster as well, and we partnered to tackle leaves that fall, and it was a trial for both of us, because we were two independent companies that were combining forces, so it was a little bit of a learning experience for both of us, but he agreed to give it a try, and our first job was one of his properties. I believe it was a maybe a little under a quarter acre lot, and we needed to clean up the leaves into the backyard. So we both started with our backpack blowers, and we were blowing the leaves around the perimeter into the yard. And then Randy pulls out his Timemaster to mulch and bag up the leaves. So I was really impressed how well the mower performed, mulching and bagging, and I was so amazed that I was interested in getting another Timemaster. So I ended up not getting one in 2019, but I did, for the next season of 2020, I wanted to have another Timemaster. So during the summer of 2020, I started looking on Craigslist and Facebook and those places, and seeing what used Timemasters were going for with the with the bigger engine. And I was lucky that I came across a listing that a guy just posted. He was selling his for $550, and it was really based on the picture, it was really in clean condition. And I contacted him and told him I was interested, and I would pay his asking price. So he said that he'd hold it for me. It was in PA. It wasn't too far. It was just across the PA line, so I don't think it was much more than an hour away. But I ended up going there. I don't know if it was that day or the next day, and looked at the mower, and it was it was super clean. And after talking, it was a homeowner that was selling it, and he was selling it because he wasn't using it because his wife ended up making him buy a lawn tractor to get the yard quicker, done quicker, because he had a um, I don't know, it looked like it was nearly a half-acre lot that he had, and so he started using that, and he didn't really have no need for the Timemaster anymore. So I ended up buying it from him. The bagger that he had with the mower was still brand new, so he never even used the bagger. He pretty much just mulched the entire yard. Once I got it home, it pretty much sat in the shop for a good month, several weeks, until the end of the summer, when I started to mow with it to see how it performed, and make sure that everything was ready for the leaf season. Being this was owned by a homeowner, wasn't sure how much hours that he put on this mower. I can only assume, being he mowed a half acre lot, for 2 or 3 seasons. I know that had at least 50 hours, maybe somewhere between 50 and 100 hours. I don't know. I wasn't sure how well he maintained the engine as far as changing oils and such, but I did change the oil, and I automatically install hour meters on all my mowers now that don't have them. So since I've had it at the end of the summer of 2019, I've put 322 hours on this mower. Now you can see here that it's not the original motor. It was about, I guess, 200 hours after I had it. I started seeing oil leaking from the head gasket, and that's usually a sign that it's being overheated. So I ended up I replaced the I took it apart and replaced the head gasket, and it did help keep it from leaking, at least initially. But as time went on, the engine started to lock up, where you would pull on the recoil to start it, and it would lock like it was locked up, and started having problems with that. And I believe that what was happening is that the inside the engine they have a piston, and they call it a connecting link. I think that was starting to wear real bad, and it was getting in a position where it would kind of get stuck. So it really started getting worse when it was about 250 hours. So I pretty much I didn't want it to break, and actually destroy the engine. So I ended up replacing the engine with the engine that I had on my Craftsman Pro Series, and I ended up putting this motor on this mower. I've also since I've had it, I've replaced a lot of different parts as well. All the belts have had broke and been replaced. The the cables for the self-propelled and blade and gauge have been replaced. I've replaced the the tires. They pretty much just worn out, no traction, so I've ended up replacing those. I've replaced the transmission twice. 35 hours after I had the mower, the transmission went up, and I ended up replacing it with the transmission for the Timemaster. And then again, around 75 hours, it went up again. So I was not sure what was going on. I do have certain yards that do have pretty steep hills, and I don't know if it was just too much strain on the transmission, and I ended up replacing it again, and I went with the Turfmaster transmission, the original Turfmaster. I mean, they have the new HDX versions with the bigger transmissions, but I ordered the original Turfmaster transmission to put in here. You might be able to see it. Let me see if I can show you. If I can flip this or turn it to the side. Let's see here. Yeah, here we go. But it has the Turfmaster transmission in there. Now the difference between the Timemaster version and the Turfmaster version is that they use a I guess the pulley that they have on the transmission. The transmission's the same. That's what it seems like, but they use a bigger pulley, which is metal. Now I haven't had any problems. So you figure that was around 75 hours, and now it's 322 hours. I haven't replaced the transmission. I think it's a heat related situation too. The original Timemaster has a plastic pulley, where this one has a metal, and being a metal, it will help keep it cooler, because heat is what damages these things. So I've been pretty happy using that transmission. And if you do replace it with the Turfmaster, you have to use the Turfmaster belt as well. So just to know that if you wanted to replace that. But everything else, it's seems to be the same. So, and also with the, I don't know if you'll be able to see it in here, with the, when I put the engine on here, you notice this right here, this is a drain for the oil. And from the Craftsman Pro Series, they have a oil drain tube, which is I don't know if I'll be able to see it. You can almost see it like right there, kind of like where my finger is. I had to mount this engine on here, I had to end up having to cut the frame to put that on there, so I can mount this engine on this mower. So I can show you, hopefully I'll have a couple pictures to show you the notch that I had to cut into the frame. So other than that, it's been a pretty good mower. Using it a lot, and really like it now, and I even use it on a lot of finish mower on small yards. So it's definitely I've got my money's worth out of this mower, because you figure I kind of guesstimate that these if you take care of these Timemasters, you can at least get, I would assume, 500 hours, you know, out of this engine here. And you know, if you got a typical 1/4 acre yard, you know, that you can mow in a half an hour, I mean, you can easily do you know, 1,000 yards. And if you're charging you know, kind of what we charge for a 1/4 acre, you know, you're looking at $45 a yard, and you know, you take 45 times 1,000, that's you know, $45,000 in revenue. And you know, if you know, I bought this for, you know, $550, so you know, it's definitely a return on investment. So if there's I'm going to be ending this video, and if there's anything else, you know, if you have any questions on this one, just put it in the comments, and I'll answer them, or you know, do another video. So this is it for number 13 mower. I got one left, and yep, it's a my next one is another Timemaster. It's I end up buying a brand new one. I shouldn't say it's mine. It's actually my wife's. She works with me full time now, so she's you know, I got her a Timemaster. She started using this one initially, and when this one started having problems, I wanted to you know, get her a new mower. So she's got a brand new Toro Timemaster, which she really likes, and I'll talk about that one in the next video. That's the 14th mower. So until then, have a good one.